Heartbeats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubts suddenly go
going in and out.
away somehow. One step closer. I died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty and all she is.
I just love that song so much.
Be brave.
I just noticed there's nothing but glare coming out of my glasses. I am sorry. And I do apologize because unfortunately YouTube is acting up. But that's okay. Because I just wanted to start the intro with that song. It was so beautiful and I was so stoked. I'm going to start, of course, with Libra. I always start with Libra. I got my new deck. I literally thought they had not delivered my deck because I got a message stating it has been delivered to your local post office. And I said to myself, that's great. What post office? Because, you know, usually they leave you some kind of tag or something and let you know, hey, we've delivered your stuff. Come pick it up at the local post office. Well, I got no tag, so I had no idea. But for those that don't speak Spanish, this is called Tarot de Fuego. And it's got a big old heart with an eye and flames coming out of it. And I had literally, and I don't know if you can hear the kittens, they're fighting. I think they'll find their way downstairs this time. I think. Right now they're fighting probably because they don't have anything better to do. Anyway, so there's an unveiling going on. Why? Because for one, I just got a new deck. OMG, I just got a new deck and I love cards. Anybody that's been watching my channel knows that I just bought 3 new decks and I unveiled one for 3 signs, and today we're going to do Libra. Something tells me I should go see what the kitties are up to, so just a second. Let me pause this. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
I can't take one more step towards you, 'cause
I
all
love
that's
Christina
waiting
Perry.
is regret.
For one, I mean, she either makes you cry because
you're a ghost anymore.
she either makes you cry because it's so passionate and so lovely and so wonderful, the feelings that, you know, come out, right? I mean, out of her lyrics. Or she literally just shears your heart in gazillion pieces where you're so broken. And
who do you think you are? Running around leaving scars, collecting a jar of hearts and tearing love apart.
And that's the way it is, you know?
Catch a cold from the ice inside your soul.
That's the way it is.
So don't come back for me. Who do you think you are?
So anyway, that's the way love is.
You're asking all around.
You know? That's the point. That's the way love is. It's either this supernatural feeling that comes over you when you meet that significant other, that you just feel like you've been just sent to another dimension, another time. Like you're just, I don't know, you transcend, like there's no one else in the world but you and that significant other. There's no one else that matters or exists when you find that someone. And your heart is filled with all these wonderful feelings, and your whole being is just like a light, like the Twilight movie, you know, it's just like crystalline. It's just nothing but like tea candles everywhere, or Swarovski crystals all over your body, you know, all over your chakras, all over the points, all over your meridians, all over every single cell in you vibrates at such a beautiful level. But love can also cut like a double-edged sword. Either crystal or a double-edged sword. And it's unfortunate, but it's also part of being human. So if you're here to have a whole human experience, you can't do one without the other. So this reading, again, I'm sorry that I interrupted, but my cats were arguing and they had opened the door. And it's because they wanted their dinner and Mom was late. So anyway, my point is, no matter what comes out in this reading, we'll survive it. If it's a good thing, then we're just going to be like, wow, that's awesome. And if it tells us something that we need to work on, then we're going to be like, okay, it hurts, but let's keep going. We got to do some work, right? I literally don't know how to read these cards. Like I said, I took the plastic off in front of you guys. And I know a lot of you are really interested in tarot cards in general. So the newer ones, of course, I can give you the names because I've got the boxes. But you've got to understand, I've been doing this for 25 years, so I don't have a lot of the boxes. I don't have a lot of the booklets. This is called Tarot del Fuego. Tarot of Fire. And it's by Ricardo Cavolo. Ricardo Calvolo. And it's just such beautiful artwork that I had to show you the boxes. I'm like, ooh, ah. I'm one of those creatures that really loves tarot cards. True story. I was born clairvoyant, medium, and I was also born with the ability to be an empath. And I know that people confuse the word empathy and empath. They are intertwined in a root word type of way, but they're not the same. An empath is someone that goes beyond you saying, my heart is killing me, I just had the worst breakup, or I have a headache, and they say, I'm so sorry, I empathize with you. That's not what an empath is. It's not an intuitive either. An intuitive is more like a mind reader or someone that can read energies and so knows things about you. But an empath, they don't really, until they get a grasp, which is going to be a series, they don't really know who they're feeling. So all of a sudden, like, there go my glasses. I need my glasses. Those are my poor eyes. So all of a sudden, guys, you can have, if you're an empath, and if you've never been trained, if you've never been, taught to hone your abilities, you can feel all kinds of crazy. Because you can read a room, so to speak, or you scan a room, and you don't even know you're doing that because you don't know that this is a gift you have. And somebody sitting next to you or in a restaurant or whatever can be going through the worst situation ever that can be heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. And you just bust out in tears, or
They could be having the worst day, or they have the worst temperament ever. And you pick up on that, and you too start having this horrible temper all of a sudden. You start getting angry, and then you all of a sudden start wondering, wait a minute, I'm not depressed. Why am I crying? Why do I feel this overwhelming feeling of, I just want to cry like somebody just took my best friend away from me, or took my best doll or toy away from me? Or why am I so angry that I just want to kick cans down the street and I want to beat everybody to a bloody pulp that comes near me? I'm enraged. I'm angered. That's an empath. Totally different than saying, I empathize with you because I've had a headache before. I empathize with you because I've had my heart broken. Those are situationals. That's not an internal knowing that your knee hurts because you had an injury there before. Totally different. I just wanted to make sure people know the difference, because where I'm working right now, bless their hearts, they think an intuitive is an empath. If that was so, I would not have had so many heart knocks in my lifetime. Because there were many a times when I would feel things and I'd come home heavy or feeling sick. And I didn't know how to shake it until I got an inner knowing of how to go about it. And I call them my uncles. People want me to bring them out for $75. And I'm sorry, but my uncles, which are the ARCs, they don't come out and they don't talk. They don't talk to you unless they want to. Now, however, let me go ahead, and I know this is a Libra reading, but I had a lady come in this weekend. I refused her money, and I gave her back her money because she wanted to talk to the ARCs. First of all, if the ARCs want to talk to you, you're going to know it. And if they want you to hear something, you're going to know it. They speak loud and clear. They don't call me Ella. They call me by my birth name. And they say it loud and clear. Diva, this is for you. When you think that somebody's calling your name at work, and you're always saying, hey, what? Dude, it's not us. It's the ARCs. It's your higher power. It's your higher self. It's the ARCs trying to tell you something. That's why you're hearing your name. Because literally, when they want my attention, they don't say Ella. They say Connie Lang. And I'm like, oh shit. And there's nobody there. So we think. They can get your attention. So anyway, long story short, the lady, I'm shuffling Libras. The lady comes in, and there's $75. And she says to me, you know, first of all, they just tell me, do you have time to do a medium, you know, ship reading for 45 minutes? And I said, okay. She sits in front of me, and I said, okay, ma'am, who do you want me to bring forth? Nobody. I said, okay, well, I'm kind of confused as to why you're here. Well, because I need to talk to somebody. I said, okay, well, who do you want me to bring forth? Well, I want the ARCs to come forth. And I'm like, okay, which one? All of them. I said, ma'am, you do know that what they charged you for was mediumship, right? And that's a channeler that you're asking for. She says, what's the difference? It's all the same. I said, no. I'm a medium. I was born with the ability to see dead people. You know, like the movie? I see dead people. Scared the crap out of me, but nonetheless. So anyway, long story short, she wants to talk to the ARCs. Well, I don't know why you're interrupting us, because no, we're not trying to go to the cinema here. Anyway, and so then I tell her, okay, ma'am, well, I bring out my cards, right? Because I don't know how to help her, because she's not telling me what she wants to know from them. So I'm telling her what they're trying to tell her. Ma'am, if you really want to hear them clearly, you know what? Number one, declutter your life. Number two, you had your child in here. Number three, they feel that that's very disrespectful because you're coming in and your daughter is with her video and no headset, and you want the arcs to come to you because you're you. Well, guess what? No, Felicia. No. Number one, you better come respectful. Number two, if they want to tell you something, they'll find a way to tell you, whether through me or anybody else, or even just if you have ears to listen. So I told her, ma'am, you probably need to meditate. That's what I will tell you. You need to meditate. You need to find a quiet space without your daughter. Oh, but she can hear too. She can hear me before I even call her. I said, ma'am, my kids would do that to me too. To the point to where I had to put a sign taped to the door. You're not to come in unless you're bleeding, the house is on fire, or there's some kind of an emergency where somebody's dying. And I literally would put that on there because I would be leaving my body. I was a natural meditator at that time, born that way. I'd leave my body and here come the kids and bam, they'd open the door and my body would slam right back. My spirit would slam right back into my body. So I gave her all this advice and I told her that they wanted her to study herbs. And she was so enraged and said, you're not telling me what I want to hear and I came here for nothing, etc. I said, ma'am, first of all, I'm not going to charge you. I don't want your money. Because anybody that knows that when somebody comes in like that, we call them know-it-alls. So they don't have anything to learn. I don't know why they're on earth anymore. Then she proceeds to tell me, oh, don't take their money because it's already tainted. In other words, it's already cursed. Then she proceeds to tell me, I don't need the cards. I could do that at home. That's beneath me. Then she says, you don't understand. I had an experience. Okay, I can respect experiences, near-death experiences. My mom once told me she saw Jesus. Okay, whatever. She saw Jesus across her windshield. Now, that's my mom, and I'm still laughing. Sorry. I wasn't there. She could have seen Jesus. It could have been a cloud, low-lying. It could have been an angel. It could have been Jesus, for all I know. I loved my mom. I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying, situationally, I can tell you magnificent things. Like about a breakup I had. So I had a horrible marriage, right? Seems to be a trend, by the way. Buyer beware. And literally, I didn't want to leave this marriage. Why I'm telling my Libras is because you guys, I played the music, 2 different songs that were completely different. I did that for a reason. Libras love very hard or nothing at all. And when we love hard, we also break hard. So meaning, once they break our heart, I mean, they leave us crushed and we just want to fall in gazillion little pieces. Because that's how intensely we love. Male or female. Not gender specific, remember? Well, literally, I did not want to leave this marriage. As much as he had hurt me, I still wanted to stay to help him. Because that's the person I am. I'm a true Libra. We're Venus. All love. So, literally, that was my first taste I had of Metatron. I had not met Archangel Metatron yet. I had worked with Gabriel for years, and my Archangel Michael, I love him. He's my protector. He's our protector. Archangel Raphael had already been introduced to me via my Reiki, before it was Reiki, because I didn't know that I had healing abilities. I would just get heat in my hands and my feet, and I didn't know what it was. I'm making a long story because there is a point to all of this, okay? So, what occurred is that although I was already 1 foot out of the door and into a divorce, which I didn't want, but okay, so be it, because we don't get married to get divorced, right? Literally, I said, I'm going to help him one more time. And the arcs opened the door. My soon-to-be ex walked into the door. This was all a vision. And it was like a square table, right? Metatron was sitting at the head of the table. Michael ushered in my ex, soon-to-be ex, and Archangel Gabriel was standing next to Metatron. And I tried walking towards them. And I said, but, and Archangel Metatron said, and Michael closed the door. When my uncles want to talk, when our uncles want to talk to you, you're going to see them, you're going to hear them, and you're going to know them. So that lady was on some crack, I don't know, but she had experience. She had such an experience she couldn't even express herself as to what the experience was. She wanted me to tell her what the experience was. I'm a medium. We're all psychically inclined. But the way she came at me was like she knew everything. So if you know everything, my point is, well then, one, you don't need to be here on earth because we're here to learn lessons. And number two, if you know everything, you don't need to be at my table. You don't need to be in this store. You know everything. She even said she was God. We're all pieces of God. We all form parts of God. Or should I say God? Goddess puts pieces of themselves in us. So we can manifest. We're our manifestors. Going off on a tangent, like I said, too many series, too many things, too many lessons for one reading. But my Libras are very delicate people. They're precious to me because if you're a true Libra and you're a very balanced Libra, you love with all your heart. You give everything. You'd give your last shirt if you had to. You'd give the person the last grain of rice to eat, and you would starve for the day or the week if you had to. You'd give them your last dollar so they could put gas in their car, and you wouldn't tell them that was the dollar that you were going to buy lunch with or a soda with. That's the way Libra is. So that's why I'm choosing to open this deck, because you guys are my heart. And I need y'all to be strong, especially during this season. We got through a really, really rough season, Libra. And that was from January through June. July has gotten a lot better for us, but there's still a lot of breakups going on in the world. So with that said, let's see what, what comes, what's coming, what's about to come. We have a lot of things, and they don't even want me to shuffle. I guess they don't want us to know. When we have a lot of difficulty shuffling, by the way, it's because somebody's trying to block us from seeing. And not even asking anything yet. I'm just shuffling them so they can be mixed in. But the whole purpose of this reading is that, like I said, they don't want us to see. The whole purpose for this reading for right now is I already did July to the end of July to the 3rd of August. I've already done that for Libra. This is the first week of August, the first week of August for Libra in general. To see what the forerunner is, what is to come, right? What is to come? Why do I say that? Because it's not too bad for Libras. Love may be a little bit, but in general, energies are not too bad for Libras. We're doing pretty good through this season, and that's probably because in a short while, in about a month or so, Venus is going to be back squaring a planet, and so Venus is a fighter this year. It has been a fighter this year, both for good and bad, and it's rebalanced itself, and I'm very happy for that, for us Libras, for Geminis, and Unfortunately, part of Taurus too. If you're a Taurus / Gemini, I feel sorry for you because you're 3 people. And I know somebody that's going through a lot right now that's 3 people because they're born on May the 20th. That's already a cusp going into Gemini. So they're 3 people. And that's why they're having difficulty in trying to make up their minds right now about their partners because they're a cusp and they don't even know it. I didn't even know it until I thought about it and looked at it a little deeper. So Geminis are already 2 people. So they're already going to have issues because they're always of 2 minds. And then Libras have issues because Libras weigh everything out. Libras will weigh everything out till there's nothing. You know, like those people that masticate, like the doctors say. You must masticate this long so that your digestive system, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's what a real Libra is. We seem like we don't know what we're doing, or we're confused, or we don't know how to handle, decisions. No. We weigh every freaking piece out. Well, if this happens, what could happen? If this happens, this. And if I go in this route, we look at every aspect. That's what a Libra does. We're the sign of the scales. Hello, people, cross watchers. So anyway, what can Libra expect for the first week of August? And we're looking at, they're telling me the 8th. All the way to the 8th of August. So what can Libras, my beautiful Libras, what can we expect all the way to the 8th of August? So from the beginning of August, the first week of August, all the way to the 8th of August. See, now they're cooperating. Maybe they knew I had more to say. Maybe they know I'm long-winded. Sorry. Made me laugh. 9 of Pentacles. Look at that card. So pretty. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles. And it's very pretty. Look at all the flame and fire. Those are all cups, supposedly. Oh, sorry. They're pentacles. So money, 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 money. But money brings happiness, right? So in other words, for Libras right now, especially at the beginning of August, through the first week of August, money's not going to be a hardship. Money is not going to be something of a strain. You're not going to be worrying about money or money situations or how the money comes. 6 of Pentacles. You may even be asked to lend somebody money, give somebody money, or help somebody with money. 6 of Pentacles. Look how pretty that is. They made hearts out of everything. Look how pretty. I love that. Everything's aflame. So you may receive help, or you may be asked to help someone. And the funny part is, if you look at these cards interchangeably, I feel like Aleister Crowley when I did this. Interchangeably, they're 9s. Look at the number is 6, right? But look at it on the top. Let's see, where'd it go? Right there. You see that? It's a 6, right? You see that? It's a 9, right? It's a 6. It's a 9. Interesting. Now, for us crazy folks out there that are sexually inclined, which we mostly are, I'm not saying 69. But it is a yin and a yang. That's what really a 6 and a 9 are. It's a yin and a yang, okay? But the other thing that's interesting about the 6 and the 9 is that they evenly divide. 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So even if we divide it by 2 or 3, those are still good numbers. The number 2 is the number of couples or the number of business, right? And then the number 3 is the number of new beginnings. So those are all positive things. The Queen of Swords, Libra, reigns. And when Libra reigns, she brings fire and thunder, or he does. Look at that beautiful eye on the bottom. Look at the thunder and the lightning. How pretty is that? I love that. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm just like in love with the artistry of some of these people's cards, and I'd love to be able to fashion my own deck one day. The Queen of Wands. Now that's interesting because you know what? The Queen of Wands has been around for a minute in Libra's readings, and I'm still curious as to who this Queen of Wands is. And I only have one deck down here. I literally have to stop the cards again and then go grab a deck and then start again so we can clarify. But I don't know who the Queen of Wands is, but the Queen of Wands has been coming out a lot in Libra's reading in general. Look how beautiful the tree is. I mean, we can look at this as the tree of life. We can, because it is alive. Look at it with eyes. The tree of life. How very interesting, the Queen of Wands. Regardless of whom this is, they bring a lot of messages with them. And messages that are of change. So let's say that Libra, let's say hypothetically that this is not another person, that it's actually you, then whether you're male or female, or if you are non-gender specific, then that would just be a different aspect of you, which to me is very good, because that means that you are becoming very balanced as yourself. I'm very proud of the sign Libra in this particular time frame of our life, and I'm sorry for all the glare, and that's because the trines and the planets and the eclipses that had happened these last 6 months, 7 months with this last lunar eclipse, had been extremely hard on every single astrological sign. And since Venus was rotating backwards, reverse, that's what retrograde means, relationships were really lost. And I was very proud of everybody that hung in there and kept their relationships going and kept them alive, because a lot of us lost our relationships, and some of it because it had to go. It was just time. The universe wanted us to do something more or have something different, or maybe our significant others were somehow blocking the potential that we had in life, and that's why they had to go. And the only way for us to be able to move forward in our endeavor, in our life mission, was for the universe to remove those people from us. And it doesn't mean that you had to like it. It doesn't mean that it felt good. It doesn't mean that you had to appreciate the fact that the universe made the decision for you. Some of us even stepped into jobs, into positions at work. I did. I ended up in a position doing readings and cleansings and doing Reiki and doing Metatronic activations. You all can look all of that up in case you don't know what that is. And it was a dream of a lifetime, but I wasn't looking for it. So when it happened, I was like, yay! And then when it happened, I was like, whoa! I just signed up for a lot of stuff. Why? The universe knows when we're ready, even when we're not. Even when we're not. I can remember when I was 15, and I tried out for a band, and I made it. I was the lead, and I had a really good voice at that time, and so I was stoked. But at the same time, I've always been an introvert. So I'm more of a, yeah, I gotta have my band behind me. I'm not a solo artist. Or I can sing in the choir and you can still hear my voice over people. So that wasn't good, because choirs are meant to be in sync. But I was so shy that I didn't continue. I didn't continue with that. Libras can talk themselves out of really great things, is what I'm trying to say. So sometimes the universe has to intervene and push, give us that push. And sometimes they're not going to do it the way we want them to. We can be like, wait, we're not ready. And they're like, shh, no, don't push me out into the stage. Shh. And no, I've got stage fright. Get out there and do it. So that's what they're doing to us. It's sad. It's heartbreaking, like that song. And we want to hurt people, and we want to be angry, and we want to be explosive and tell them, who do you think you are? But the truth is, the reality is, whether we like the reality or not, they did us a favor. They did us a favor because something magnificent was trying to come into your life. That moment you've been waiting for, to make that grandness out of yourself, that gift, that beautiful, that passionate thing that you wanted to do all your life, finally is manifesting. And at the same time, you're having to let go of somebody that you feel like you really, really belonged with. And the universe said, no. And that easy. That's how easy the arcs can take instruction from God, Goddess. Because when I say God, Goddess, God is androgynous. We know him mostly by God, male, but she's androgynous. They're both. So we're both. And sometimes it feels like, oh shit, I don't want to make that decision. That's not what I want. That's the only time I see that free will is not and is not your choice. Like I said, I was going in to do one more thing for someone who had just crushed me, left me penniless, left me in the street. I walked away with nothing but the clothes on my back, and thankfully my income tax check was coming. Had no car, I had no furniture. I left with just that check, and that was it. But I was willing to go back into that room to help that one more time, spiritually, to keep him going, to get him ahead in life, not thinking about myself, because that's what love is. You don't think about yourself, you think about the other person. And the arc said, no, you will not. You will not continue to hurt yourself. So that's the way it goes. Sometimes they make those kinds of decisions for us where free will has, you don't have it anymore. But those are very rare instances when they have to intervene that way, because you're either being beat or you're being abused in some way, and they're just not going to have you being abused anymore. So they will do what they need to do to get that person away from you, because in your kindness or in your love and compassion for that person, you're too kind-hearted and you're too attached to that person from your heartstrings to step back and say, no, you're not going to hurt me. No, I'm not going to take that. No, I'm not going to accept that. A Libra has to be very balanced and very strong to finally walk away and say, no, you're not going to do that to me anymore. And we waver. Even the strong ones, we waver. But once we get there, we become more of our Scorpio self, of our Aries self, that we start learning how to speak for ourselves, that we start being the Scorpio that can cut people off without even a second thought. but it takes a lot for us to get there. That's why this particular reading is very special. That's why I'm speaking a lot, because I want you to know that it's okay if something ends at this time. It's meant to be. It's gonna hurt like hell. It feels a lot like somebody's tearing your heart out of your ass. Right? I'm not a proctologist, and nor do I want to go to a proctologist. But that's what it feels like when you're heartbroken. Like somebody's ripping your heart out of your, as the wedding singer, you know, the line in The Wedding Singer. We all know the bar sing. But you will get past this. This too shall pass. And yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So let's go with that song. And the other thing is that they didn't deserve you anyway. They didn't know what the king or queen they had in their life anyway. And you have to know that. You have to have that self-efficacy. Yes, you may waver until you finally get yourself 100% away from that person. Or for those of you that maybe are battling because maybe you don't have the money right now to move out. You don't have the money to move away. But don't make excuses. But what if you don't have that money? Okay, then start saving that money somehow, some way. Start raising that money. Start eating out less. Whatever you have to do to get yourself out of this situation. Or if it's not about that and you just have to say bye. Thank you for the life lesson. I gotta go now. Then that's what you do. That's the whole point. Because love should feel like the sparkles. You should have that. Every one of us should have that and expect that. The Wheel of Fortune is coming. So lots of messages, and the Wheel of Fortune is coming around. So if things have been bad, good things are coming. If things have been good, better things are coming. I love the Wheel of Fortune. You know that? Because it gives us opportunities for change. It gives us opportunities to understand that this too shall pass. If you wait long enough, the rain stops. But we have to be happy. The rain gives us rain for the plants, for our crops, to bathe because it's purified and then it comes to the pipes, to drink. Water is important for our kidneys. We're 70%. Some people say 75%. Scientists don't know. They can never really gauge. But right around 70-something%, we're water. That's why we love the water so much. We're in water, fluid, embryonic sac when we are in our mother's womb, in her belly. So water is something that we really need, right? Water clears your mind. When you take a shower, you feel refreshed. When you take a hot bath, you feel soothed, like somebody rubbed you or wrapped you in a warm blanket. Like you have a big old hug, bear hug. Water is important. Cleanse yourselves with water. Wait for that change. The Nine of Cups. So you got both cups in one reading that are 9. Both cards that are 9s in the reading, which tells me that both money and love can be had. I know I keep sounding conceited, and I don't mean to come across that way, because that's not my point at all. Every sign has something particular about them that makes them badass. Excuse my cursing. And when it comes to my Libras, it's you got it going on in the love aspect. You rule the sign of relationships. For instance, for me, I'm a Libra and I'm a dragon in the Chinese zodiac. So it's always my parade. I have double luck. I was born under Venus, and then I was also actually triple luck because Venus is the planet of love and money. Everything fabulous, everything glamorous, everything sparkly. And then to be born under the sign of Libra, the sign of love and relationships. So I'm always pursuing, always looking for my significant other. That's a trait of our signs. We're diplomats. We're people that are fair-minded. We're always trying to give as much as we take, and if not, we give more than we take. Truth be known. And then I'm a dragon. Bruce Lee was a dragon. So hell yeah, I really love myself. And I love myself more at this time frame in life than I did before. Maybe COVID has made me feel that way about myself. Maybe people that haven't loved me, really loved me, that were fake and frauds, have taught me what it is to love myself. And that's okay so long as you get it. It doesn't matter when you get it. The point is to get the lesson so you don't have to keep reliving it over and over again. Okay? But yeah, be happy. Every sign has a significant trait about it. Libras rule a lot of luck, a lot of glamour, interior decorating, love plush things, love diamonds, love jewelry, love nice clothes, love luxurious homes, fancy cars. That's the sign that we were born under. We can be procrastinators. That's a negative sign, so don't be a procrastinator. Holy mackerel, 10. Were you happy with the 9 of Pentacles? Because they just gave you a 10 of Pentacles. So money is coming. August, something powerful is about to happen. Maybe it's a change in career. Maybe it's opening that business, making that extra money on the side, freelancing, whatever it is, my Libras, you're about to make some of that cheddar. So what I would tell you to do if I were you is don't only make it, invest it. One of my favorite astrologers was actually saying buy gold. But she wasn't saying like buy gold and rings and gold in stocks. She was actually saying buy gold bullion. Because in her opinion, paper burns. In other words, paper money is going to be no more. And the way our economy is going, I would say she's, got it going on. She was talking about Bitcoin. She was saying she didn't really like Bitcoin right now or like any kind of funny money that's virtual right now. It's not the time yet. Even if Bitcoin does make a lot of money right now, it's not as widely used as it could be, like the paper form. But money, as far as gold and silver, never depreciate. They do not depreciate the way that paper money goes. You know how you get that big fancy car with the big fancy price tag and then you drive it off the lot and it depreciates? If you're going to invest in property, invest in gold, invest in land, tangible things that later you can turn over if you need to and make money off of, but not buying stupid things that are not going to bring back anything. So, with all this beautiful stuff, something is ending. This is a beautiful card regardless. I just love this artwork. It's the 10 of Swords. So what I'm getting out of this reading is that something has to end in order for something beautiful to continue to work for you. Okay. And I never noticed, but I'm going to show you the Queen of Swords. And again, this is not gender specific for the Libra card. She's got two swords, well, a sword and a dagger. A sword and a dagger, and look at all the dragons she's fighting off. Mighty, 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 mighty. Strength, strong, mighty. My Libras, when we're determined, we can do anything we put our minds to. Anything. 8 of Pentacles. I'm telling you, there's money on its way. There's money on its way. There's money to be had. So for those of us that say we lost our jobs, I do feel for you. But I left my job in the middle of COVID because I couldn't put up with people's BS anymore. And I wanted to be in a more balanced place. And God has heard me and picked me up and put me there. I gave my 2 weeks notice. I didn't lose my job. I actually literally tried to give it away and tried to save somebody else's job. They told me no, and then went around me and gave her the job that I left. I gave my 2 weeks notice. She didn't say thank you, and I didn't need her to. I felt good about what I did because she needed the job more than I did. And she wanted to be at that company, and I no longer wanted anything to do with that company. My point is, if you really want a job, keep going. I put in 30 days, I put in 50 resumes. 50. Not kidding. I'm happy to send you all the jobs I applied to. I still have my Indeed. I don't know if you can see it because it's really bright, but Indeed is right there. And every time that something came up, I put in a resume. So there's always a way out, is what I'm saying. Don't procrastinate. That's a Libra bad, negative, or unbalanced trait. Paperwork on the floor. That's a Libra. That's a Libra trait. You need to get to that paperwork. The Knave of Wands. More information. More messages are coming. Let's see what they're about. Because they've already brought us enough money to live on. So for sure, we're not going to be poor. The first week of August is going to be good. Goodly, as they used to say. King of Wands. Even more messages. Holy mackerel, Libras. What the hell? You're going to keep the messengers and the archangels, especially Gabriel. You're going to keep Gabriel pretty busy with all the messages coming through. Holy mackerel. So lots of chatter. I hear lots of chatter in the background. What are we doing? The Fool card. There's a new beginning coming around for you. There's a new beginning. Like I said in the other reading that I did for, I think it was Pisces. The Fool card isn't necessarily a fool. Sometimes, let me tell you a story, okay? It's in relation to this card, the Fool. Not kidding you. Think about Warren Buffett, okay? So I go with this friend, and this was years back. I get in the car, and I go with my friend, and I'm like, where are we going? Going to a junkyard. I'm like, why are we going there? Because there's a part I need. Well, why don't you just order the part? Because it's cheaper there. Okay. That was all he had to say. And I went along. We get there, and I mean, the whole yard, I mean, it's huge. It's like maybe an acre or two, and it's just filled wall to wall, older stuff, junk, etc., pieces and parts of maybe motors, tractor parts, etc., right? And I'm like, man, even for a Libra, because I'm a dumpster diver, like, this is junky stuff. What the hell? Why are we here, right? This man comes out and he looks like this big old hillbilly, and I'm like, oh crap, where the hell am I? Where'd you bring me to? So I'm like, okay. So the inside is going, and the outside is like, nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. Nice gentleman, personable, but looked like a little hillbilly. And it was a junkyard. We get back in the car after getting the part, and he says, so what did you think about, my friend? And I said, well, he dresses like a hillbilly. His clothes is kind of tattered, and it's a junkyard. I can't imagine living in the middle of a junkyard and making, income out of that, because reminds me of Sanford and Son, Lamont and Red Fox, He says, he's a millionaire. I'm like, shut the front door. I was like, whatever. I said, come on now. He said, no, I'm deadly serious. The man is a millionaire. He's got properties. He's got a lot of money. And he just doesn't show it. He doesn't wear it on his sleeve. He doesn't feel like he has to show off or flaunt his wealth. He likes living a very simple life. And I freaked out, because if you're going to judge a book by its cover and you're not going to read the interior, you never know what's there. And so what they're trying to tell me with the Fool card is, give the opportunities that are trying to knock on your door, that are trying to open that door with, in those old scenes from the 1600s or whatever, where they're trying to get that gate open to get into the realm where the king or queen is, and they're trying to break down that door with that big old log. Yeah. God, Goddess, Spirit is trying to knock your door down and tell you there's something on the horizon, something new, something beautiful, something positive, just for you, Libra. And you're kind of oblivious, which is a good thing in a way. Childlike behavior is okay. It's good to be innocent. But I'm here to tell you that this is good. This is good for you. Whatever it is that's coming, it's good. Receive it with a blessing and just say, thank you, I'm grateful. Don't say thank you. Say, I am grateful. Because Spirit doesn't like thank yous. And the reason is because if you open the door for me, I say thank you. If I sneeze and you say bless you, I say thank you. So it's kind of empty. But when you're grateful for something, it lasts longer, because you really, really are thankful that that came into your life, or that happened to you, or somebody brought you a whole lot of money and saved the day, paid a bill, or whatever, brought you food, or anything that was something you really needed. And that's why you should be in the gratefulness and not just in thank yous. You have a lot coming this month. August is going to be fantabulous. That's all I can say. I can look at the fox and say, a slick person is around the corner. And then there's a snake down there too. You see that? What the snake, which is an enemy, it could be an enemy, perceived as an enemy, doesn't realize is that the fox is crafty. So whatever messages are coming from this snake, enemy, could be a frenemy, you have the crown. You're the fox. You're wearing the crown. Look at the moon also. The moon is an eye, but look at the way it's shining down on you. So it's illuminating you. What does that mean? Timely warning. A timely warning.
Somebody might try to get over on you. Somebody might try to be slick, but you can see them coming and going. You can see them coming and going. Look where he's seated. He's seated above, not below. The Sun card. This is a great reading. Thank God I'm a Libra, because, you know, I'd be jealous right now. Look at that. It's the Sun card. Some beautiful things are coming about in August. I really think that this transit is going to be very good for Libra. We've got major arcana. We've got the King and Queen of Wands. We've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the Sun. Holy macaroni. I mean, we've got money. We've got love. We've got the Fool, which is another arcana, a major arcana. New beginnings. We even have companionship because we have dogs. We have foxes. So we won't be alone. Oh, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky little devil card. But there's still something that you want. And that something that you want is what can unfocus you or make you unfocused. Why? Because remember what I said, the way that I started this video with those two beautiful songs was an extreme example of what love feels like in the beautiful extreme. And the other one is like this tearing, this feeling like somebody is just ripping you apart and you don't know what to do. You don't know which way to go. So right about the time that you're going to be having this magnificent breakthrough that everything's just going great. I really think this is related to this. Now, this doesn't have to be an enemy because we can tame this. We have to be able to tame this. See, the Devil card is not black magic all the time. It can just be that you're extremely attached, codependent towards someone. And you have to watch out that you're not so dependent on them that they can crush you. If you're with them or you're not with them, you're still happy. And you always have to keep the upper hand. What does that mean? That means that they have to love you more than you love them. Sorry, cross watchers. I'm not talking about my bad cross watchers. I'm sorry. I'm not talking about my good cross watchers. I'm talking about my bad cross watchers that damage Libras and then want to rein in on their parade and get all the gifts and all the blessings. No. Sorry. I'm going to tell you like the movie White Girls. Sorry. No. It's just not going to happen. The Hangman. So some of you are still going to be holding on to relationships. And that's okay because you know what? You have free will. Remember what I said. The arcs do not get you out of relationships entirely unless they're beating you up. I mean physically. If they're harming you mentally to the point to where you're going to end up in an insane asylum or a hospital, or you're going to overdose, or you're going to want to kill yourself, then they will take that person away from you because they don't want that kind of toxic energy around you. I'm pulling 5 more cards and then we're done. The Hangman usually for me means that there's a time frame going on and it's something that's not quite cooked yet to completion. And then we get the Death card. So again, rebirth. So as soon as I see these together, that means the time limit or the time waiting period is not as long as it usually is, because right away there's something that happens to change these situations to where they move fast. And then look at that. We have the 6 of Swords. Ooh. I feel so bad for this person. That looks like that hurts. It's actually a foot walking on those swords. But we can also say if those swords weren't there, we maybe wouldn't have a way through. So we got to look at it that way. So see how it's kind of like an ouchie, because look at the way the flames are coming out, like from pain, right? So the suffering, pain. So going towards, away from pain, going towards something. And it's almost like, I don't know if I can make it out like Muslim type of buildings or Indian type of buildings in the background. For sure there's a candle. So candle, to me, the significance of the candle is lighting the way. Lighting the way out of darkness. Going into something positive. The Seven of Pentacles. Dudes, whatever it is, August is going to let loose. Let's say, have you ever gone to the casino? There's a casino game that's called Mr. Moneybags. That's one of my faves. Like, I tell people that know me, I'm bad in reference to casinos. I will literally sit at a casino and make it give me back my money. If I lose 200, I want that 200 back. So I'll sit there for like 12 hours until it gives me my money back. Well, this particular game, it's called Mr. Moneybags. So you see the coins flying up in the air that he's throwing? Well, Mr. Moneybags, consider that his money's coming out and towards you, because that's literally what you can have starting August. Starting in August. So you better take advantage of this situation in a positive way. What do I mean by that? I'm going to be kind of like, I'm going to be blunt to my Libras. Libras, we have a bad habit of spending more than we have. We have a bad habit of not putting away for a rainy day. We have a bad habit of being 60 years old and spending all our money instead of having some kind of savings. This is the time to stop that negative aspect of Libra and start putting some of it away. I'm not saying don't enjoy what you're about to reap, but I am telling you, you need to start putting that money away. You have to stop mishandling your money, for those of you that do, because you're going to turn around and be 60, 70 years old and you're not going to have anything to show for it. And this is not a fruitful time. This is an abundant time, times infinity. So August is going to be very phenomenal for you. And it seems like this time period is going to keep going and it can grow. Look at this, the King of Pentacles himself. The King of Pentacles, the epitome of money. This is the Midas touch. It's not the devil. I know there's a little devil on there. It's not the devil card. It says the King of Pentacles. He's just hoarding the money. He's the master of the money. You know the story of King Midas, right? You guys know the story of King Midas. Everything he touched turned to gold. Unfortunately, he also touched his daughter, supposedly, in that tale, and his poor daughter turned to gold. So be careful what you ask for. But the moral of this reading is that there's nothing that you can't have. I literally was only going to pick one more card. You're not going to believe this. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles. More money. The Ten of Cups. This is the greatest happiness ever that you could have. This is the card of ultimate happiness that you can have in a relationship. And then the biggest card of money. All I can say is mic drop, bam. So, what do you want, Libra? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? That's what I want to hear. What do you want? What do you want? Because you can have anything. You can have anything that you want. I'm going to leave you with this. Let's see if it plays without giving me hassle. Because, I've been trying to, get stuff to play. And then it's like it plays and then it stops and stuff. So I apologize for that. But this is what I'd like to leave you with. Because you're unstoppable in August.
love this song. I wish you could watch the video, but again, I don't need to
that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of a stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. Tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded? And heaven is overrated. Tell me, did you fall for a shooting star? One without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there.
Bye, guys. Much love. This is Ancient Ways Tarot, brought to you by Ella. Bye.
Now that she's back from that